I will try to keep it short in order to facilitate, so you can move freely. I mean, it's fine. I'm Fedra Francocci. I'm researcher at the National Research Council of Italy. As Sophia already anticipated, we are the co-organizer together with Chimica Verde and SMILO of this incredible living lab that is at least the idea that we really would like to implement with you. And I would like, first of all, to thank you for being here, because your input, you are at the core, you are at the center, you are really the key actors. And our aim is to learn, to support, and to try to deploy and to make your your dream and vision, to put in practice your vision. Where we start. So the BlueMissionMed, it's a coordination and support action funded by the European Union to implement the mission, restore our ocean and waters across the Mediterranean. So just a bit of the story. So why we are here. We started with this idea that Elisabetta had just at the beginning of the project, to realize an award on islands. So starting the mission, first objective, the island. With the idea of learning from the island, it's key to transfer the objective of the mission in other solutions, in other regions, country, and to scale up, but really to start with the core, with the island. That is a lab, a living lab to implement the mission Ocean and Waters. So this is why we agreed with the idea. And we, at that time, we met Sylvain, and they were implementing at the time Celebrate Island. So we decided to join forces and to start this journey together, at least for us. That was just the beginning. And the learning from SMILO, that was an international network, was really a good occasion. Of course, our aim, our geographical scope is the Mediterranean. And we launched this award in the Mediterranean, and we identify Capraia, Saint-Honorat, and Curiat as the winners, as the key virtuous, good practice, good cases, or champions, as we like to say, to showcase, to really support in the dissemination of their activities. So this is the story. This is why we are here. And yeah, you say that we are here in Capraia together with the project, but we are linked to a very important European framework, that is the European Maritime Days. If you go to the previous slide. So the Maritime Days are the key moment of reflection of the European communities that deals with the blue economy, with the maritime affairs, and whatever is going on now in Ireland, in Cork. We decided to be part of this very important network. And so we are also celebrating today, European Maritime Day in my country. So Capraia is also now in the agenda of the European Days for Maritime Affairs. So congratulations, because I think that this is something that makes also this initiative very visible. Going straight to the next part. And just to highlight two topics. We are talking today of how much is important for us to learn from each other, to transfer good practice, approaches, ideas, or problems, gaps, but also opportunities among islands. But there are some innovations that are far from islands, that are far from Mediterranean, far from Europe, that we can really use, pick up, and transfer to our environment, and to transform our islands in a more sustainable way. The BlueMissionMed focused on one of the priority of the mission, that is the pollution, but it's very much related to the contamination, to remediation, conservation of biodiversity, and blue economy. But consider that our main topic is the prevention and reduction of pollution. And if you go to the next slide, please, we started in building a network of actors that could implement and support the deployment of solution to be put in place in different area in the Mediterranean. So we built a structure that is made of 16 actors across the Mediterranean from 7 countries. And we are organized in hubs that are like national nodes that catalyze the activities at the very local level. So Italian actors are supported by us, by CNR. There are Spanish actors that are supported by MedWaves. You see our colleague Ignazi is also here and is playing a very central role in the process of supporting the stakeholders. We developed a methodology starting from first, which are the priorities for us, for actors, for the islands, for the cities, for the regions, with respect to the Mediterranean, which are the needs. Then how we can provide solution for you to be implemented and realized, and then how we can really support you in this process. So needs, solution, and capacities. If you go to the next slide, just to, don't talk about the achievements. This is just for the report to the European Commission. But for you, just to mention that islands is an environment that is made of different actors. So there are fishermen, there is the sector of agriculture. If we go a little broader, we met the industrial partners, but the research, the citizen association, the transport, the energy sector. So we mapped the needs of all these sectors related to the maritime environment and the inland waters, and we identified the key area of priority intervention for protecting and restoring the Mediterranean. If you go to the next slide, this is in a report that we will launch in Nice during UNOC that has been already mentioned previously by SMILO also, and we will launch together with 2WF our summary report during on the day 11, in case you are there. So this is just for you to briefly have an idea of the number and the typology of the solution that we map. Of course, solution related to the aquaculture or fishery sector, of course, tourism, agriculture, plastic and wastewater treatment. That was the most important in our assessment. Of course, the solution that we liked are solution easy, and already with an existing business model to be transferred and applied. So we are building a package that could be used by you to be put in place. These are the kind of solutions that are mainly related, as I said, to the pollution topic, plastic, and further on. And if you go to the next slide, just for you to have an idea on what we are developing, we are creating a platform, a repository in which you find like fact sheet of solution you may need, you may like, related to the sectors of interest that I mentioned, and with the key roadmap for the implementation. So this is somehow easy. In the next part is that we are now in the place of provide support. Also, providing support is not really an easy task because we are facing different interests of the different stakeholder typology. So we developed a survey that you are also asked to fill in case. So we are here available, and we really would like to know your opinion on this and also to collect your needs. And with respect to the needs, we are now in the phase of provide support, targeted support to the different type of stakeholders, those that are providing solution and they want to transfer and upscale, but also to the stakeholders that are looking for solution in their environment and their territory. And we are developing targeted support to researchers, to the business sector, but also to public authorities and the citizen in a broader way. if you go to the next slide, just to provide you, so this is the kind of answer that we had in less than 1 month. We had more than 100 of requests of support from different type of stakeholders, reflecting different type of sectors. And this is, we are now implementing this approach. I go back to to what Elisabetta said. You know that the charter of the mission, that I don't know if you really, you know, what it is. So the mission is collecting the good practice already ongoing. The mission want to know what is going on across Europe, and they mapped also action, virtuous activities like Capraia that are happening around Europe. More than 60% of the action of the Charter of the Mission, so the action that the European Commission is aware, because if you don't sign the Charter, the Mission is not aware about your work. So more than 60% of the action are in the Mediterranean, of course. It's because we are, you know, this is the Mediterranean. Could you please come back to the previous slide, please? Okay. This is the distribution of the countries. Italy is the country with the more action proposed. I can say that Sicily, of course, one of the, I think that the top in terms of budget and in terms of the number of solutions provided. We scored also the objective of the mission in which these activities, these action are targeted. You can see that the pollution, so the second one is the one most represented across the basin, then the restoration, and at the end the sustainable blue economy. So the path is that most of the activities of the covered by activities on the islands are targeting one or more of this topic. Here, it's a distribution of the type of organization that is implementing the activities that has been applied to the Charter of the Mission. You can see that the Mediterranean Sea is covering all the type of the organization, mostly non-governmental organization, and I like it very much because it means that associations, we are talking with the funding agency or citizen organization are really leading the change in islands, and I see that Sofia with Capraia and Chimica Verde, you are one of those that are non-governmental organization leading this activity. Where we are now. So with the aim of supporting, we start from the knowledge. So to support our stakeholders with the knowledge and the solution they need to be inspired, to really try to imagine and design a path for sustainable transition in their environment, we are providing example and the opportunity to matchmake with experts that can guide in a grouped way through seminars, a specific series of seminars, to the defining of the best solution in place for you. And today it's running the second webinar we organized, the first on wastewater treatment, and then today is on bio-based products, and next week there will be the last webinar. We will provide you with all this information. At this moment, this is available in English, but together with the hubs, we are also planning to have a linguistic version for each of the 7 countries represented by the consortium. The support activities is what we will implement from now to the end of the to December, at least. So we are providing, in addition to the thematic webinars, tailored mentoring and advisory services, and Ignacy is also here for this as an expert, and we are setting matchmaking session and fora for you to meet not only among islands but also with among solution provider and solution seeker. And we can also invite you to the main event that will celebrate the innovators that we will support and train in this path in Ecomondo, that will happen in November. That is the biggest exhibition in circular economy in Europe. So this is just to say that here are our contacts, and so our work is really to learn and to support you for starting from the islands, but also enlarging the scope of our work. So thanks a lot, and we are here. Please do not hesitate to ask. I would like to thank Elisa, that is the project manager, Marta, that is involved mainly in the topic of the island, on the small island, and the restoration part, and Ignacy from MedWaves, that is a strategic partner for us for the implementation and support. Thanks a lot.
Allora, buon pomeriggio a tutti. Good afternoon. For those of you that don't know me yet, I'm Marta from the SMILO team. And so this afternoon, after we've had some great presentation, thank you very much, Fedra, we will take some time to get to know each other a little bit more. And we have a lot of island representatives from the Mediterranean. So this afternoon is an opportunity to get to know a bit more about the context, the common challenges, but also the common solutions between the various islands that are here represented. One thing, as you know, and as you can see, the weather forecast had to make us adapt a little bit to the program. So thank you for everyone's flexibility. We've decided to have this focus this afternoon on sharing the histories and the experiences of the islands. And then in the afternoon, we'll have, later in the afternoon, we'll have the Solutions Forum, which is a forum that focuses on sharing experiences on tested solutions that are that have positive results that can be replicated in other places in the Mediterranean. And then we'll close with a keynote speech from CNR as well. Before we start the Islands Forum, since many of you don't know each other so much yet, I would like to invite you for a small, let's say, exercise. So we can also move because we've had excellent food. So maybe we need also to get a bit more energy to start the discussion. So this is also why you're also standing up. And I would like to invite you. You will see my colleague at the back, Celia, who's standing there. You can also see some of you were very intrigued and asking what is these lines that you can see on the floor. And so these lines, thank you, Sebastian is our sports leader. I will ask you, all of you, to position yourself. I will ask you some questions, and I will give you some possible answers to the questions. And I will ask you to go to the answer, to the place where there is the answer that most suits you. So I will start with a very easy first question about the languages, because of course we all want to interact with each other, but we come from different backgrounds, and some of us speak one language, some others. So I will invite you. So Celia stands in number one. Number one is I speak only Italian. For those of you who speak only Italian, you can go in first square. Then on the other square on the right, where there is my colleague Sebastian, there is I speak only French. Then number three, just in front of Sebastian, there is I speak only English. Here, exactly. And then on the other side is I speak or I understand more languages. Okay, is it clear for everyone? Only Italian, only French, only English, and I understand or speak many languages. Okay, interesting. Oh, we have a lot of people that are multilingual. Impressive. Okay, very interesting. Thank you. Question number two. Okay, are you ready? The second question is about your involvement in protecting the environment. So the question is, I have been working on the environmental field or sustainable development for 5 years or less. The first on the left, where is Celia? This is 5 years or less. Then there is between 5 years and 10 years on the right. Then over 10 years in front. And then over 15 years. Over 15 is there. Ok, ok. A sinistra dove c'è... sì, scusa, perché non c'è la mia collega, scusa, hai ragione. So 5 years or less, over 10, between 5 and 10, over 10 and over 15. Okay, interesting. Okay, we have also a lot of young representation. This is very good. Okay, okay, thank you very much. Next question. You live on an island all year round. It's on the first, number 1. Where is Celia? Celia, can you raise your hand? Okay, you live on an island all year round. Then, just next to it, we have, I don't live on an island, but most of my work is focused on islands. Okay? Then we have, my work includes island-related topics, amongst others. Amongst others, I do work occasionally a bit more, depends. Okay? And then we have, I don't usually work on islands-related topics, but I'm here to discover. Okay, okay. No one, okay, everyone is already involved on islands. Okay, great, thank you very much. We have 2 last questions. On my island or on the islands that you are working with, mass tourism is an issue. It's number 1, where Celia is raising her hand. Then we don't have mass tourism, but we have increasing number of visitors, and it's posing great environmental challenges. This is number 2, just next to the first answer. Then we have an adequate number of visitors, considering the island's carrying capacity. Overall, it's working well. And then the last answer is we don't have tourism or mostly have no tourism. Okay, so it's very focused on having challenges in tourism. So I invite you in the discussions maybe also to focus on this question. What kind of tourism do you have on your islands? What kind of challenges do they pose? And what are maybe some of the solutions you've started testing and trying out? Okay, thank you very much. Last question. On my island or on the islands I'm working with, waste management and reduction is still a big issue. First answer. Then we have waste management and reduction is under control, but needs improvements. That's on the right. Then we overall have a good management system, and also we have developed 1 or more good solutions to reduce waste. This time we have only 3 possible answers, which would be at the front. I will repeat. Waste management is an issue. Waste management is under control. We are starting to develop some solutions. Sorry, I'll repeat. Waste management is an issue. Waste management is under control but needs improvement. And then in the front, waste management is overall under control. Ok. Ah, benissimo, bravo! Bravissimo! Ci sono solo 3 risposte possibili. Grande, abbiamo un vincitore di questa. We have 1 big winner. Okay, thank you very, very much for being with us on this game. So now I will invite you to start the Islands Forum. So I will give you a bit more instructions. So the idea is we will have 2 sessions. The first one will be with Saint Honorat at the back, Saint Marguerite on the right at the back, then Capraia, Asinara, and Zlarin. Because most of they are representatives of a SMILO network that have been working with us for many years, so you more or less already know each other. But then we will exchange and have a second session. So all the people that are now on this session participants, for some of you, you will be presenting in the second session in half an hour, more or less. In the second session, we will have Lampedusa, Crete, Salina, and what island? Okay. Is it, so the idea is all the representatives from these islands, I invite you to go in front of the poster. And then for all the other participants, you have, let's say, informal discussions, maybe keeping in mind some of the elements we've discovered together on tourism, on waste management, and you can discover a bit more about the islands. And if you have any questions or need for a translation, you can call us. Thank you very much.